anytime that there is a discussion of the future, we all get on thin ice. We all can try and prognosticate and think about science fiction and things of that nature. But as I was looking back over the last 10 years in preparation for looking forward for, say, 8 years, I can see that the markets that we thought would emerge with 3D scanning did emerge. How we actually arrived was totally different. So I think that when we look to the future, some of those elements are here today. When Dr. Riegl made his presentation earlier today, he remarked that railroad scanning was an important market for his technology in the late 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. And it's very interesting to see that those same markets are the bread and butter for the new technologies that come about similar to lidar. So, great. So, 21st century, the rapid rise of surveying and mapping and lidar, things of that nature, absolutely fantastic. And surveying and mapping tasks now can be done on a speed and a scale that was previously impossible, okay? And what I want to do is liken the impact of this on the surveying and mapping industry very similar to the impact of mechanization on agriculture. So if I go back to the 1900s in the United States of America, some significant portion of the labor force was involved in the production of foodstuffs, and when we take a look at what's happening today, a very, very small percentage of the labor force are actually involved. So mechanization had a huge and sweeping impact on that industry. So I believe that laser scanning and, of course, the digital imagery that's evolving with it will have a very similar impact that mechanization had on agriculture. So we've seen the impact of some of this to a certain extent, and I think that that trend will only go forward. The USGS has gone through and they have listed the top lidar and imagery business uses. So this is information that comes from the government. Now it's an international conference, but what I wanted to do was to take information from the USGS, because the USGS in the United States is one of the largest consumers of lidar data. And so for our world here in the United States, they're a very, very, very important entity. And so these are those top lidar uses. Now, they've gone through and they've also identified high potential markets and values. And so they're very, very conservative. They're saying that in these particular areas with application of lidar and imagery, at the low end there'd be about a $1.2 billion savings a year, and at the high end something in the neighborhood of $13 billion worth of savings in utilizing higher accuracy lidar and imagery in the process. So I posit to you that these markets will be the markets in 2012 that will emerge. The order may not be exactly the same, but I believe that we will see this, much as we will see Dr. Riegl's example of the railroads from the late 70s, and they're still an important market for our technology today, and I think that you'll find the same thing here. Now, I was having a discussion earlier with Dr. Riegl and another member of the press, and this gentleman, Neil, who's videotaping up front, had some questions on some of the future applications for our technology. And Dr. Riegl, he gave it some thought, and he said, Jim, he said, we have them on planes, and we have them on trains, and we have them on helicopters, and we have them on boats, and we have them on every conceivable platform. I can't think of one more platform that we could put them on. And then he said, oh, but wait, there's always the UFOs.